Greetings, citizens of YouTube. I'm back with another video. Thank you so much for all your views and likes of my previous golf ball window videos. This project is going to be quite a bit bigger than the golf ball projects. We moved into a new house, and the first project is going to be a full remodel of our family room. I'm going to break this video into 4 parts. We're going to do the fireplace and the ledge stone in the first video. The second video will be the custom cast concrete hearthstone kind of topper for the pedestal. The third video will be the recessed lighting in the first floor of a 2-story house, which will be new for me. And the fourth video will be the flooring. I'll take the camera over to the materials in a minute. You can kind of see what I'm up against. This is a product that I'm going to be using for the stone. This is an engineered ledge stone product. And rather than go with wood, we're going to do these tiles, which are, I believe these are porcelain tiles. Maybe they're just ceramic. But they look gorgeous. I mean, they really look nice. I've done these in another room. They're quiet when you do them, and they're extremely durable. So I feel like they've really got an edge over wood. Not to mention that for something that looks like this, you're going to pay about $3 a square foot for this product versus a hardwood floor, engineered hardwood floor at about $5 a square foot, depending on where you find your materials. So since I did all this work yesterday, I'm just going to talk you through it really quick. I looked at a lot of videos trying to figure out the best approach to making the platform, and I didn't see a lot of uniformity. There's a lot of different ways people make these. I decided to make this as if I had framed up a wall. I felt like it's going to be a very sturdy platform for the concrete. So what you can see here is there's a set of studs here, just like you would on a corner. I've put some wedge anchors in here, 3/8 inch wedge anchors to hold these down. And like you would in a house wall, I've joined the corners with, a top plate and then a second top plate where you interleaf the 2 levels of top plates in the corner to kind of add extra rigidity to that corner. This thing is going to be super solid, probably overbuilt. And then I've added an additional, call it mini wall in the back. And so this will serve as a platform for a custom 2-inch thick concrete hearthstone. Alright, well, we're ready to get into the first day of the video build. What I've done before I started filming was I took a hammer and a chisel and I carefully chipped away the mortar that was kind of holding the tile and the tile board or the wall board on before. Now, it's a little uneven, and I do plan to go back in with some mortar to kind of fillet this edge and paint it black again so it blends with the rest of this. I've also taken a lot of careful measurements, and I have sketched out what my soffit is going to be framed up like, and I'll put that here. I've measured all my cuts on the lumber outside, and I'm going to go make some cuts. Alright, so I've measured, marked, and described each of my cuts so that once this is all cut, I know which piece is which. Single cut. Okay, I've got the soffit framed out, and what you can see I've done is I've bolstered up a piece of straight lumber against a wall that I know is straight, and I've kind of mocked up the whole thing. I've measured it off. It matches my dimensions exactly. The next step is going to be to start fastening some of the edges together and check for square. Actually, I'm going to check for square before I go, but then I'll start building slowly and keeping everything squared up as I go. And then I'll get an assistant to help me get this in the house and up on the wall. Alright, time to check for square and then run a scrap across the front. Now, don't drive these all the way home because you need to be able to get them out to get this piece off when you're done. Alright, the framing is in, and now the next step is going to be to fasten it to the wall. So I actually didn't expect to find this big old header here, so this is great. I'm going to fasten some 2x4 blocking in here that I can nail through the back side to anchor this to the wall in 5 places to hold it up there. And then I'm probably going to run a stringer in this gap here and kind of toenail some supports in there. These blocks that are going to go on this wall are really, really, really heavy, so I'm going to make sure to anchor this thing really well. Just to back up, before you start fastening all of this framing to the wall, take a look around at all the angles you can think of and check for level. Should have mentioned that. Alright, it's time to start cutting the wallboard. So I'm going to be making my smaller cuts out of the corners. You know, you always want to utilize a factory cut where you can. So I'm going to make the two small side sections out of this board, and then this will also become the board I use to make all of the smaller edges. I'm going to preserve my larger boards to work my way up the wall. Now, I've cut this kind of material before with a utility knife to score it and kind of break it, but I find that you get kind of an inconsistent cut. So I'm going to use, you know, more or less a Dremel tool, a rotary cutting tool, to try to see if I can get a little bit better cut. So we'll see how it turns out. Okay, in the interest of full disclosure, the rotary tool and the utility knife are not the way to go. I forgot that I had this jigsaw with a diamond-tipped masonry bit, which is chewed up, but this is the tool. It cuts like butter, nice, clean, straight cuts. If you don't have a jigsaw, there's 1,000 uses for one. You should probably get one, especially if you're already watching this video. And I should also mention that this silica dust that comes out is really nasty stuff, so wear a respirator when you're cutting. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Okay, to fasten the cement board to the wall, you can use a conventional drill, but I find an impact driver, like this small unit from DeWalt, to be a great tool because the hammering action helps drive the fastener, which, by the way, you need to be using specific cement board fasteners. But this tool will drive the screw into the cement board much more efficiently than a regular drill will. So here's the end of day 2. I've got all of the cement board up. I've got the platform boxed in, and I've cut some sheathing to sit on top. I just use 1/2" press board sheathing for this. It's cheap, does the job. And then I started to lay out the stone just to see how it's going to look. So I'm liking it. Now as I build up, I like to mark which course each of these belongs to. So I'm going to mark a number 3 on top here. And make sure when you put your mark on these that you put it somewhere so that when the next stone goes on, you've hidden your little paint mark so you're not counting your way up the wall. By the way, I'm dry stacking my entire wall so that when I put the adhesive on the wall, I just stack, 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 and then I'm all done. I'm getting ready to actually affix these blocks to the wall, but I fabricated a really quick frame out of furring pine to make a nice level surface to kind of bridge that span across the top of the fireplace. Guys, check it out! Floor to ceiling. The very last thing is going to be to take this plastic away and do the bottom, and I think that some of the cuts that I made in the very top there are salvageable to do this last little gap. So I'm thinking, fingers crossed, 45 more minutes and I am done. Truth be told, it took 2 more hours, but it was worth it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the other 3 videos in this series.